Little mom.
Read the question.
So first part of the question is, what were you like as a little girl? Let's start with that.
I think I was shy.
What?
I know. Here's why. I was an only child and I didn't have a lot of
don't think I knew
stimulation
that.
from adults in my household. When I went out to like the, neighborhood or the relatives, then they were very interactive, but my parents were very quiet.
Right.
So I was alone a lot. Now, I loved that. Okay. I was alone a lot. But while I was doing that, that was good and bad. So some of the things that I did were like fantasy driven, like let's say I make an entire kingdom in the living room, or I turn the closet into a portal, or I live underneath the dining room table, or I went in the backyard and made a jungle and lived in there with all the creatures of the earth. I was extremely imaginative, and because I was alone, but I liked that. The problem was when it was time to socialize, all of a sudden I was like thrown into like a lot of noise, people talking, adults saying things, and all expecting me to respond a particular way. And I didn't really know exactly what I was supposed to say because I was just visiting Earth and just talking to these humans. And as a child, I just felt so satisfied in my inner world that I didn't really need to be out here so much. So when I did come out, I looked like I was shy.
Did you have friends that were your age?
They came and went. They were fascinated with me. They would stare at me with big eyes like, you get to do that? You get to live still in like the mystery land of life, like that, we usually grow out of after you're 3. I kept that going till like I was like in the 6th grade probably.
So you kept that magical side of you alive.
Yes, I did.
Longer than most people.
Correct. So I got
you did it solo as well.
Solo.
And so you weren't worried about having friends as a little kid?
No, I wasn't actually. I liked them to come around once in a while.
Okay.
To entertain. I like to entertain them and I like to show them my worlds, but I wasn't interested so much in.
If I can add one thing, not much has changed. Yep. Not much at all, actually.
Look,
so that's
you can
all
probably
I
diagnose this, but maybe it's just called living your elven dream forever, and you just come here and you never change.
Yeah, you knew who you were from a young. What is that? She knew who she was from a young age.
That's correct. And so then it could occur that I was shy because that's how I related to people, was kind of like.
I think that answer really answers the second question, which was what parts of that version of yourself do you still carry? And I think
all of the above.